Welcome to this video that's all about answering those questions that you were too scared to ask, and probably because you thought either it was a stupid question or you're embarrassed about asking the question. All right?
But hey,
this is how you find out,
it
right?
is.
This is how you find out, right? So we're going to answer those questions right away. And just to show how basic this is, right? Let's start with the first question. Why do mountain bikers wear baggy shorts instead of tight lycra?
Why, Martin? Tell me.
Well, the thing is, right, baggy shorts sort of summarises a looser looking fit on clothes in mountain biking than, say, cross-country mountain biking or road riding, stuff like that. Basically, right, mountain biking involves lots of dynamic movement, okay? So you want to be able to have that freedom of movement. It's also great out on the trails to have pockets, so you can put snacks in there, things like that. That doesn't suit the lycra. There's also this, which is what I've
This is the main one, right?
Is you can always wear lycra with the padded shorts underneath,
so
baggy trousers. So you've got the comfort and the baggy shorts. So you can do both things. And basically, there's no rule to this. There's not one way you should dress. But that freedom of movement, that more relaxed feel is definitely a big part of the ethos of mountain biking, and not such a strict regime.
And it just looks cooler, right?
I think it does, but we're mountain bikers. So we're going to think that.
Biased.
We're going to think that. If you want to go out mountain biking in full lycra, that's fine. In fact, he does it. He does it a lot. He does it a lot as well, the guy behind the camera.
He does. That brings us nicely onto our next question. Is it normal for my butt to hurt after riding?
It can be initially, can't it?
It 100% can be, especially if you're new to cycling or new to riding long distances. There's a few reasons for this. So first, bike setup. If your saddle or saddle height is in the incorrect position, that's going to put pressure in places you don't want it. What I'd recommend doing here is a bike fit is a really good way of getting your bike to fit you exactly. But a few quick ones. If you're finding you're getting pressure at the front of you, shall we say, it could be that you're leaning too much on the front of the saddle, so it needs to drop down. Only very incrementally, mind. Again, if you're rocking left to right, or you're finding like both your sit bones are really pinching, shall we say, your saddle might be too high, so you're putting a lot of pressure down on them, right? Yeah,
absolutely. And of course, like we mentioned in the question before, you've got to experiment with wearing a padded short. So 100%. A nice lycra bib short with some chamois in the centre of the seat bone, so you can like be all protected. And I feel weird talking about essentially buttocks, but that's what I'm talking about.
It is my sort of top tip here, because, you know, I've had to do a fair few long rides. Chamois cream, you can either go direct to the chamois or direct to you. I prefer the chamois. Work it all the way in there. What it does is it stops friction or reduces friction, keeps things moving a little bit more freely as they should be, stops sores and things like that as well.
Absolutely. No, I just hate saying the word chamois.
Yeah, chamois?
Chamois, it doesn't feel good. But you can also get your seat bones digitally measured if you go to the right shops. Ergon do a digital measurement system in their dealerships, which means you can actually measure your seat bones and get the exact perfect fit.
Just thought of another one. Can I throw it in?
Go on.
Try before you buy. So if it's the saddle which is causing the most discomfort, which, you know, if your butt's hurting, it is, a lot of shops will do demo saddles. You can just try them for a week or a couple of days or whatever. Try before you buy. It's a great way of sort of thinning out the ones that might not work.
Yeah. You know what? We've got past the most embarrassing questions I was not looking forward to.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to talk about
my butt.
Butts and chamois. I didn't want to. But I've
Onwards
done it.
And upwards.
There we are. We can all move on.
How do I get over the fear of riding over obstacles?
Oh, I can take this one if you want.
100%. You're an obstacle.
I can be an obstacle. The best way to do it is it sounds so boring. Start small, right?
Okay.
Start small. Start with easy stuff.
It's true.
And it feels like at the beginning when you start learning to bump up a curb or ride over a small log that you're not really getting anywhere. But confidence is key for all of this stuff. Once you get confidence of going over a certain size of obstacle, it just compounds and you start to really experiment with what else you can do. So start small, start basic. I'd say always with anything to do with techniques, trying to learn some track stand ability, not necessarily the perfect
stand ability.
Yeah, the ability to track stand or a little bit of track standability. So
No, I
you
like
have to
it.
be perfect at it, but some control at very low speed or actually stopped will make a massive difference with how you approach an obstacle
Yeah,
and
too
how
right,
you
yeah.
ride over them. So those would be my two obvious go-tos. Start small, bit of track stand. What about yourself, Rich?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think, you know, the other thing is seeing other people do it. So sometimes if you're tackling an obstacle for the first time and you've no idea what to do, you're like, well, I literally don't know what to do. But then if you see someone, hop over it, bang through it, go on.
Me, sir, we've got tons of videos on our MTB skills list. And if you want to see someone do it,
we can do it.
Just saying it, then that is a go-to.
But that's-
Feels like an awful self-promotion, but as you were saying, I was like, hang on a second, that's what we do.
That is on our job
Honestly,
list.
if there's a skill you do want to learn in particular, then have a look through our playlist because we have definitely covered it.
Great shout.
We know what we're talking about when it comes to riding over bikes, or should I say, he does.
Okay, next question then. How do I avoid looking like a total newbie on the trails? Martyn?
No, well, this is an embarrassing question to ask, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
because-
don't want to look like a newbie. But great news is, and this is the truth, right? Nobody cares. They don't care.
No one does. Mountain bikers are wicked.
No, no one else is looking at you thinking, oh my God, they've only just started mountain biking. We've all only just started mountain biking at some point.
Yep.
We've all looked like a total newbie. I mean, I get it. You don't want to look like a newbie. You don't want to stick out like a sore thumb or not feel like you are. And there are certain things you can do that would maybe not be, what's the word? Not be cool. Is
Acceptable?
Like glasses on with a full face.
Yeah, it's a bit kooky. There's a few
Stupid
don'ts.
things like knee pads over your jeans.
But I get it.
But honest, right? If you had glasses on with a full face and pads over your knees,
You'd say hello, wouldn't you?
you're out mountain biking. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care. And honestly, most people really don't care. But yeah, there are those glaring. What do you call it when they've got the pads over the jeans? It's sort of like the Euro look.
It is very Euro. And I think the thing with that is, especially if you go to a trail centre for the first time, it can be a bit intimidating because you've got all these people going around doing skids and, you know, fancy bikes and fancy kit. But honestly, everyone's just there to ride, so no one really does care if you turn up in a set of stilettos, hot pants, and a full face and glasses.
That sounds
innit?
like a really bad setup. That really does.
It's not advisable.
I mean, one thing that I would say is that like you've just got to run with what you've got. Okay, so if you've got a pair of jeans to wear and some pads, maybe put them on under the jeans. If not, put them on over the jeans and go with the I'm running it.
Yeah,
Confidence, own it. Confidence. And only recently, a pair of jeans were turned into the cool kit to wear in downhill. So the fashions can change so quickly. Don't get caught up in them too much. Buy the products that work for you, not the ones that you like the look of on other people, and just enjoy the bike riding.
Okay, next up, why do some riders prefer flat pedals over clipless pedals? They just like the movement, the freedom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. You've got more freedom on a flat pedal, obviously. That said, if you've ridden a clip pedal and you see how much more efficient you are with a clip pedal and the control that you've got, that can be a really great feeling. There are also lots of riders that do both. Rich, you ride both.
I do, yes.
Yeah. I mean, lots of people will use a flat for one thing and a clip for something
100%.
else. That's totally fine too. There's a general thread in this, if you're noticing it, that there isn't really any embarrassing questions in mountain biking. It's fine to ask, and usually all things are fine too.
Yeah.
But flat pedals have got their place, so have clip pedals, and people interchange and can enjoy both. Can I ask you this last question?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I really like this. Is it all right to name my bike?
Yes, 100% yes. I was a board gold member the other day, not too long ago. Now I ride.
You do name your bikes,
Yeah,
don't you?
now I ride the Rainbow Trout, which is my Orbea Rallon.
I don't tend to name my bikes, but I think it's fine to do it. It's quite fun, actually.
Yeah,
It's quite
100%.
fun. Louis, do you name your bikes?
Yeah, I got a road bike called Nigel.
Oh, literally name your bikes. Like he literally.
It's not like, mine looks like a rainbow trout with the colours.
But Nigel.
Right, Nigel.
Okay, yes.
So there you go.
Simple answer to that one. Yes,
Cameraman
of course. Enjoy riding your bike, and if that means naming it, then you go do it. Hopefully, some of those embarrassing questions helped you out. Like we said at the top of the show, there's no embarrassing questions. And of course, if you've got any question, no matter how embarrassing, ask someone, get the answer, and keep enjoying riding and build your knowledge. Rich,
That's it.
It's been fun.
Yeah, don't forget, obviously, if you do have more questions, use the hashtag AskGMBN in the comments and keep them coming in because we will do our best to answer them at some point.
I have actually got an embarrassing question.
I've got one for you. Oh, that's it from us. See you later, everybody.